Well, we live in very interesting times. And again, I'm not going to lie, I am trying to make money on YouTube. It's very alarming how far we're going down the cringe. So, there's apparently a whole new genre called black fatigue. So, a lot of the right wing side of YouTube and elsewhere, TikTok, Twitter, so on and so forth, are expressing their relief that they can be open about their white nationalism and are putting out some pretty insane cringe content and making a lot of money, right? This is like really where it's fascinating. I'm not even subscribed to this person, but they did one good video calling out some conservatives. Again, I'm willing to call out the left. The left has its own cringe. There's a lot of bad, stupid radical leftists and bad, stupid feminists, so on and so forth. However, I was looking at this guy's other content, and it's really hard to ignore the obvious that he's pretty racist. So the response by certain black YouTubers to the black fatigue tidal wave and it being monetized and making a lot of, really bad people a lot of money is to go full racist themselves. And there's also something where it's not just style, right? Like YouTubers attacking YouTubers. It's an issue of substance of people who are really manipulating, and I mean radically manipulating history and don't know what they're talking about, right? And listen, I'm not black. I don't claim to be black. So it's a difficult subject, right? And if you want to be a black person and see yourself as a victim and push that narrative to make yourself money, well, that is your choice. However, lying about basic facts is, I think, dangerous. I think it's dangerous when black people do it. I think it's dangerous when white people do it. It's just dangerous. But living in a new time and era where people just say the most crazy things for the money and power, and you're like, okay. And I will be like shocked that this person, right, Antonio speaks. Yes, a black man says, black is beautiful. I love black people. White people be evil. Antonio, a black man called Antonio, taking a Latin, Italian. Okay, yeah, you're just like, you're shaking your head, really. Oh boy, so Kwanzaa is going to combine two cringes because he's going to invoke, and again, this is a serious subject, so get ready for it. Get ready for it because it's going to be like, uh-huh. Wait, what? No, please. No, my God. It is. It's out there. So just be forewarned. This is out there.
Bad we are. So since we're going to generalize, let's generalize. White males in America. Did you know that they make up 31% of America's population, but are 71% of the people charged with child? And you know what? We generalizing all white males are sick as hell, and I don't want to bring my kids into y'all. They need to separate them. It's so crazy to me how America has convinced the entire world that black people are just so violent and aggressive. But when you think about any catastrophic event in the world, white people are at the center of it. It's part of colonization. I mean, every place they went to, they destroyed and all the people. Then you know went to the women and claimed that they discovered it. Like what? They also were involved or started all of the world wars. Chattel slavery. I gotta put emphasis on chattel because it's always a white person in my company say, Africans enslaved. Oh yes, but it wasn't barbaric as American slavery. These people are.
Well, this is the problem when you become full racist. You say things that are so insane and so incredible. You're like, wait, hold on, wait, what? So by the way, I actually do study slavery at an expert level. So claiming that African slavery was not barbaric, actually, it was pretty nice. It was so delicious. There is still slavery in Africa today. And we're not talking like, well, there's still the actual practice of slavery. It is still a difficult issue. It has not been totally eliminated. Now, it is tricky, right? Because a lot of it is debts. But there are full blown cases where people are enslaved, right? In the Congo, there was a massive case of genocide. This wasn't white people, right? Or Rwanda. It's not a white person in sight, right? Rwanda is one of the most shocking cases of modern day genocide. So, well, I mean, we'll just table, and again, let's be clear. There is the background, which is serious, especially with Rwanda, of whites and colonialism. That is true. That system was constructed by white people. Let's be honest here on both sides. However, this is a person who clearly has no real knowledge of Africa or African history, it's a complete horror show. So, just saying blame, no, African slavery was pretty awful. Again, the American version was pretty bad too, but huh? It was not as barbaric. How do you know this? Can you cite a credible source? And I didn't even expect bro to get that detour because we started off with pedophilia. And again, I want to be very careful here because this is a serious topic when it comes to, quote, the issue of blacks and whites and the IQ and the. No, but I don't think he knows how numbers work. So he's saying, well, white males are only 31% of this population, but hey, they're like the PDFs. Most of them are white men. That's just going to be true by definition, you idiot, because X is one of the biggest populations, right? I don't have to check a book. Do I think most white people commit crimes? Yes, they're some of the biggest populations. Like white men and white women are still some of the largest groups in America. By definition, they're going to be the majority of XYZ, period, because of their population. That's just pure numbers, right? I would expect whites pay the most taxes. Whites commit the most crimes. Whites will make up the majority of this and this and this because they're the majority population. You didn't say anything. That's just not how numbers work. You have to be careful cutting and breaking down the numbers correctly per population. And you're like, oh, okay, let's generalize. But you're saying generalization is bad with black people, but with white people it's legit. Okay. Also, I don't even know where to begin. Does this person have any clue about, to put it mildly, the many, many cases of colonialism in the Middle East, in Asia? I'll just give one I am super specialized in, I know for a fact. The Japanese occupied and committed various cases of genocide in Korea, China, and elsewhere. There's a very long history, a very brutal, ugly history of the Chinese, the Koreans being victimized by the Japanese. They even have museums and entire like statues, and it's been commemorated numerous times. There's no denying it either. I mean, the Japanese were full blown in their own newspapers celebrating these things. They were noting it, saying, "Yeah, we're slaughtering these people." But this idiot thinks like, well, the white man in the colonial. Does he not know the history of Japan? Well, I mean, I'm going to take for granted. This is not an educated person. This is just a person who maybe saw what 5 TikTok videos how black people are the best, we're the most beautiful, like God people, and amazing. I'm amazing. I'm Antonio. I'm so Africans. Right. So I could go through every single claim he's making. He's like, you have no clue what the hell you're saying. Clearly, you're just a black racist, and okay, that's your framework. But then when it comes to criticizing white racism, it'll be like, well, you're doing the same thing. You're just doing the same thing. You're just really not well informed about these topics.
Many, over half of them, college graduates. Many of them are educated, good jobs. This isn't just who we're thinking about. Like they're technical savvy, and I think that this time that we call them out, like that we can't stand by and stand back. Like we have to stand up and say, not only are we not doing our job as men, it's actually the opposite. Instead of being defenders and protectors of our families, we're hurting and abusing. That came from another white man. Y'all can take some accountability, man. I didn't need y'all to do that internal work instead of trying to blame immigrants, Mexicans, and all that. Black people, work on yourself. It's not minorities, it is white men, the men that are in this country. The same way how they decide to put the focus on trans people, put the focus on black people, put the focus on the minorities to keep our attention away from what's actually going on. It is because of race. It's always been because of race. People think that when we talk about, being pro-black and whatnot, it means being anti-white. The only reason why they think that is because being pro-white has always meant being anti-black. It's not the same thing. We just want peace.
We'll put aside how none of this makes any sense by your own logic. So you're saying, and that's a white guy saying it. But you just said most white guys are predators, so why would I take this guy seriously? Why would I believe him? You just said basically like they're slavers, liars, and they're okay. Well, then I would never ever believe or trust any white person, including this testimony. That's just plain logic. Has nothing to do with race. Has nothing to do with biology. This argument is just radically incoherent, and you're like, you're bringing in a black woman who also is a racist and says, "Oh, do you know all children are born as long as the troll is really the white man?" Okay, all I want is peace. Uh-huh. Oh no, it's fine. I mean, that's what the white racists say. We don't hate others. We just love ourselves. So the black racist is stealing from the white racist, saying, they just love me. I'm Antonio. I just want my self love and give me the money and the power. Why not? There we go. Oh, and by the way, they like saying, "Oh, well, he's being very generous. He's trying to help the Mexican." No, because he has another video saying, "Oh, these immigrants and all these." I mean, come on. Who cares? I don't care. Wow. So, yeah, we're just. I don't even know what this incoherent schlop is supposed to be. It's like we're just raising alarm bells about the evil of the white man. And you gotta admit, if you're a white man in society, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of things to answer for. It is being brutal about it is like, damn, it's not a great record. It's not, but Mr. Italian named Black Guy is like, my record is so much better. Okay, what's the evidence of that? Oh, well, 31% of the white men. Right. Well, we're making a really big leap that, right, these other groups can be trusted with power. I think the lesson for today is power corrupts. It corrupts all the way down, even with Antonio Banderas here. So, boy, that is a mouthful right there. Saying we want just peace. It'll be black racist peace, which is very good with our African slaveries. Right. Right. I wonder how those African victims of the African slavery feel about that. Well, we're not going to talk about that. Well, there we go. That's the way the racism works. We only talk about it when it's the evil of the white man. Was there evil by any other group? Well, maybe, but it's about loving ourselves. Uh-huh. Right. Right, right.